There is so much on the line in this final match of the women's pairs sectional rounds. Australia taking on Fiji. Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan under immense pressure to remain in the competition. They'll take on Fiji's Elizabeth Mothewai and Losalini Dikoya in this final sectional match. A win for Australia, not quite enough because they'll be relying on the Maltese result against Japan. This is Ringside Live. Val Furbo here with you for this crunch match for the Australian Commonwealth Games winning duo, and Barry Lester sits alongside me. This is going to be a ripper, Baz.
Yeah, up against the ditch here on the last rink of green 2. Sun's starting to set in the west. And as we've seen every day so far, Val, the conditions will slightly change in the second half of this match. The green will slow down a fraction. A yard more at 4.
We love that saying. I'm only going to hear that for one more day.
Yeah, the yard more at 4 has been, it's showing up every day so far. And the conditions are really nice. So, yeah. This team this morning really took it to England, tested them all the way, so
they did.
Let's see how they go up against the Aussies.
And it's great to bring you coverage of Fiji, yet another different nation that we're covering here on Ringside Live and Bowls of Australia's official Facebook page. And, you know, this is a sensational opportunity to see some nations that we may not have ever seen bowl before. And Fiji, they are a stalwart of the Commonwealth Games and World Championships. They've got some great players and a lot that watch along with us throughout our other respective tournaments. Radhika Prasad, one of those. She's in the Fiji team. She's an absolute star of a bowler. But this Fijian lineup, they've been well and truly in this section this morning. The loss against England probably didn't help them overall, because now they sit in 5th position behind Zimbabwe's Karen Sinclair and Jane Rigby in 4th, who have regrouped really well. 4 wins, 3 losses and a draw. Christic and Ryan sitting in 3rd, 1 point behind Malta. They've made up the shot difference, but Rebecca and Connie Rickson, well, unbelievable they've been to get through. But Fiji, as you said, Baz, gave England a big scare this morning. This is not going to be a walk in the park for the Aussies.
No, very strong country are they as Fiji. They've had some great players over the years, and I've seen them firsthand, played many times against Fiji. And yeah, this team this morning, they were right in front of us, Val, on that ditch rink, playing east-west this morning, and they were playing all the shots in the book, playing great draw shots, conversions, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be pretty keen to test the Aussies out this afternoon and try and finish on a high.
There is the horn. So Christina Christic and Elizabeth Mothewai to get us off and running. It'll be Fiji who set the first length, and the mat doesn't go up very far at all. Elizabeth using the XGs and Losalini using Optimus. The Australians both using the XGs. Baz will keep you updated as well on the clash between Malta and Japan. Now Malta just have to win and they are through. The Rickson sisters, Connie and Rebecca. Now, if Australia win and Malta tie or lose, they are done. The Australians will go through. Now, these players aren't overly used to being on the live stream, so they might stand on the centre line. We'll try and get that changed.
Okay, first bowl, yard short. Just on a kind line there, but just falling short there was Elizabeth. So Christina, nice high drawing line. As you see now, their second game on the live stream today, but something different. We'll let the viewers tell us what's different about the Australian pair in this match.
They're playing Fiji.
Okay. On the forehand again. That's a nice little promotion. Couple of rolls there. So 1 to Fiji as it sits currently. You see that nice high drawing line coming in off the ocean side, the east side, heading in this north direction. That bowl there is well out to the peg line. Starting to fold back now. Here it comes.
The Australians using blue bowls. Wilto Josh
Good pick up, Josh.
There you go.
Okay, switching to the backhand. Here's Elizabeth on the backhand. Well, she's heavy, but that's okay. If she can somehow get up near the tee. Doesn't want to run in. That would be a waste. Okay, so lead shot with the first couple of bowls for Fiji. And the tee. So pretty strategic, that. Always good to try and win that lead battle and cover the tee as well. Chrissy also having a look at this backhand. Big, big turning hand, this hand, off the ditch side. As you see, look at this go away, Val. Off it goes.
It is
See you later.
Absolutely motoring away. I think Karen Murphy is just going to let her know that the cameras are in the way. So,
yeah, big smiles there. They know. And the best thing about it is when they want to watch this game back, you know, in many years from now, who cares, 5, 10, 15 years from now, I guess they don't want to just see the backside of themselves, so they want to see the game for what it is, and there's also that component to it as well. So there's Alan Ryan and her opposing skip all the way from Fiji. What a beautiful place Fiji is.
Never had the pleasure of going, but I do intend on it. I've heard some great things, and a couple of friends go recently, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah, only been the once, back in 2016. Lossolini on the backhand. She's not far from the jack here. She doesn't want to kick it out in the open. Well, she has, but that's that hand. Look at that bowl. Look at it scream away.
That's almost going towards the boundary peg. That was very funny because Chrissy was waiting on the head for Ellen to bowl, and Ellen's like, no, it's not my turn. Lossolini Decoya.
So we'll give you a bit of an insight to why that happens. You see this huge turn. Look at this coming right home. So as the roller on a bowling green comes to an end, when you're rolling the green, just where the roller comes to an end is probably about a couple of feet from the edge, the plinth. And then that just sort of leaves a double rolled section, and the bowls get out to that point and they hit it. And
Look at this.
And they say, see you later. Goodbye.
Oh, my God.
It's a very strong drawing hand. Is most ditch hands anywhere in Australia. And you can see the opposite.
Look at where Alan Ryan has pushed this one out.
Yeah, so that's right on the edge of that arc now, and that's going to come back beautifully, is it, Val?
That is...
Look at this.
A wonderful adjustment there, but
not
it's still
finished yet.
rolled. No.
See you later.
Look at
There's another victim.
What do you think the speed is at the moment, Barry?
Green speed, about 15 to quarter. But for me, if you want to take a lot of that wide drawing ditch side turn out of play, you got to bring the mat up. You definitely got to bring the mat up and take a lot of green out of play. Put the mat up the green.
Now, Lossolini Decoya has actually made a pretty good correction here,
nice
but
line.
it is just going to drop underneath.
Look at the angle of that bowl.
Yeah.
It's coming back up the green almost.
But she got her line right, so the Aussies still holding a couple here, Alan Ryan, with her final bowl of the match. They just need to win and hope that Malta tie or draw Japan. Japan have been pushing a lot of nations in this draw. Alan Ryan looking to make a beautiful correction here. That is going to stop in time, I think. No, Chrissy was clapping it.
It's so it shows up more when the green's firm, Val.
It does.
And when the
Three
green's
taken out, so was in, Baz.
Yeah, so when the green's lush or it's the grass is sitting up a fraction, it doesn't have as much effect. But these are the conditions. You know, I can't say I've ever played on a perfect bowling green, but if I was to nominate a couple, they're to our left, which is green 1 and green 4 at the back of here at Broadbeach Bowling Club. Some of the best greens in the world. And these players have just got to adjust to what is a slot ditch hand that has a bit of a strong turn coming off the bank.
So 3 to kick off proceedings for the Australians this morning on this very green. It was a frightening clash between the Australians and Hong Kong, China, with Hong Kong coming home with a wet sail. And look at how short Christina Christic will roll this length. Alan Ryan came straight up the rink. So let's see how this goes. But even the jack roll, that came a lot further than what we anticipated.
Yeah, so I don't want to harp too much on it, but as the roller comes down to a slower speed, as you know, Val, you've seen the greens being rolled the last X amount of mornings. As the green is being rolled, as the roller slows down, it has more impact on the surface of the grass. So as it comes to rest, it's compacting the surface, and then it has to come back from where it came from. So that just little split second of rolling it, it gets double rolled and at a slow speed, which is more impactful on the surface. And then you see that creates that slight little extra draw coming off like a small shelf. And that is very, very common anywhere you play. Although some sections and some parts of Australia I've played, you might see the opposite, where probably when the greens aren't as firm, it can have the opposite effect. It can slightly run away towards the ditch, where you see your ball go out, and it might get to a point where it then runs towards the ditch or straighten off. So this is the beauty of the game. We witnessed that last year, Val. Of course, you were there at Birmingham.
Yep.
Playing across 5 greens, different rinks, different conditions, ditch rinks, and so on. So if you want to be a world champion, you want to be one of the best players in the world, you've got to combat all elements and all conditions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And every bowler at this World Bowls Championships has had to combat those, because they've played it, I think we calculated it this morning, Barry, 11 different bowling greens across the 5 clubs. So 4 here at Broadbeach, 3 at Musgrave, and then 2 each at 13 greens, I think. So a bit more than 11. So quite remarkable how 13 different greens have been used for one tournament, all of them running a little bit different, all of them running at different speeds, all of them offering up something other than the other.
And that's survival of the fittest when it comes to winning a world title at a lawn bowls event. Of course, 2018, the players that walked away after the Commonwealth Games here in 2018 all played across the 4 greens here, Val. So the venue was one venue. It was the last World Bowls over in Christchurch. I know that you definitely used Canterbury, Papanui, Fendleton. Great facilities over there in Christchurch, and of course Burnside, where the finals were held.
So on a live ladder, Barry Lester, Australia are through. As Donald Trump would say, stop the count. Japan lead Malta 1-0. Plenty to go, though. Plenty of time left. The Australians fighting hard. So Alan Ryan, this is not a bad effort. Just going to drift over the top. There's a lot of Australian fans watching on around us here, sitting, we're perched up a little bit elevated on the balcony here at Broadbeach, so got a pretty good view of this rink and how the bowls come down on it. Elizabeth Mothewe and Losalini Dikoya of Fiji looking to spoil the Australians' party and knock out the Commonwealth Games winning duo, the Sweethearts of Birmingham. Alan Ryan trying to get her way in here, but again, that swinging arc of those bowls, it's going to be who can adapt quicker and then who can utilise the swing of this green to their advantage. But they are motoring along. Once they start to turn, they don't stop. Rosalini Dikoya, that is not a bad effort at all. One more left to come for both. Really intrigued to see how the Australians go, Baz, because it is such a high-pressure match where they just need to win. And when you're not relying on your own results and when fate isn't in your hands, it's a difficult situation because you don't want to be complacent in case fate does go your way. But there's always that thought in the back of your mind.
Yeah, Val, it's one of those ones where you know that there's another thing going on, but you can only still...
She's got the jack, Alan Ryan. That'll be a few.
Yeah, you know that there's another component to what you're trying to achieve, but you can't control it. So I personally wouldn't even look over there. If there may have been an arrangement throughout the match where Alan and Christina may have said to Karen or one of the support crew, we're not going to look over. We're not really interested in what's going on. But if something monumentous is pretty much happening, maybe let us know. So, but what can actually happen throughout the end of this match is, as we see the jack there, is that if the game's on the line for both games, it can potentially dictate your shot selection at that stage.
Look at Ellen Ryan and what she was able to do there. Her first 2 bowls in a similar spot, and then afterwards, she got the correction that she wanted, trailed the jack, and now Australia currently holding what could be 3 or possibly 4. Looking like it's just 3. But a big bowl for Lossalini Decoya.
This has to be sent right out. I'm thinking this is going to turn pretty sharply from there, Val.
And we can see it coming down, Barry.
See you later.
Rocks. Oh, it did rock one up, though. And has that changed things? 3 kicked out. Are we going to get a measure for a 4th or just the 3? So Australia, a good start. 6-0 for the Com Games winning duo of Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan.
And then, Val, you've got the other side of the coin too. What is Malta doing? You know, how are they approaching it? Are they looking over thinking, wait a minute, Australia, they're well up. Well, we can't afford to lose this, blah, 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 blah. So you've really got to set out how you're going to approach it before the game. You can't start wandering off and starting to do something different throughout the match. If you were Malta, you wouldn't even worry about what Australia's doing. And you've just got a job to do. They're currently, I think they scored a 3, so they're up as well. Australia's up, so both teams trying to do all they can, and you just hope that at the end of the day it falls your way.
So on the scoreboard that we can see, yep, you are right, Barry. Malta now back in prime position. They lead 3-1. So Malta win, or if Malta win, they're in.
What about draw?
A draw and Australia win, well, the Aussies get the job done. They are through.
Okay.
So draw, not good for Malta. A loss, not good for Malta. A win is the only thing that will guarantee them a spot in the quarterfinals. Of course, the Rickson sisters, Com Games bronze medalists in 2018 on these very greens at Broadbeach. Aaron Wilson, Matt Shipp, is having a wondrous day at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. He got through, I think, conceding just 4 shots in his 2 singles matches. 21-3 over Ricardo Rubinat, and then over Terry Morgan of Spain. He won that 21-1. One of his final matches. Frank de Vries of the Netherlands. That's who he's playing at the moment. He's already up 4-1. He's in a hurry, is Aaron Wilson. Maximum results, minimum work. Let's have a look at how this one comes back, Barry.
Yeah, lacking no draw at all of these greens, and this particular rink, as you're seeing there, that got back just wide of the centre line. So both players working on their line well here. Just a matter of getting both to go well for you, line and length. And this is where, when you practice all those hours, when honing in on how to get your line on a rink that's got unique turn, this is where knowing how to get your line really comes to the party. You've got to really know, bowl after bowl, how you can set up and hit that desired line.
So, at the moment, I'd probably say this lead battle, it's very close. Chrissy putting one in not too far away from the jack there, but Elizabeth Mothewe has been impressive. It's a reason why Fiji have contended and pushed England all the way this morning. Now that one is going to go around the back. And it held on. So the line not too bad on all 3 of those Mothewe bowls. And you can see they're almost in a straight line. Working on that Caterpillar Barry Lester.
Yeah, there's bit of confidence there, because she
mate.
was obviously pumping into that front blue, turning it in. I think she missed. She was pretty good anyway, but yeah, I think the wide side being the ditch side, I think it's slightly quicker as well. So you might be able to tell on the green. So where Ellen's bowl is right now, there's a bit of colour difference, and that's just natural wear and tear that happens over 8 to 10 days over a major tournament. And as the bowl's coming across, so where you can see the shadows to your right there, Val, each shadow is pretty much saying that's in line with each rink, and then there's a slightly colour change on the actual grass itself. It's close here, bowl clean. Well, she's played it. Still one down though.
Yep.
And just from the standing around, the wear, the people on the green, and the head and predominance where the bowls are being played in the other direction, you'll just see a slight colour variance across the green. And that means for me, where the most wear and tear is would mean that is the quickest side of the rink. This will have no drama turning back. We see there, bang, into the front.
It's remarkable how quick these are going, and Australia will be absolutely desperate to continue to apply this pressure and try and make this as much of a stress-free match as they can.
And how good is it to see these athletes, Val, having coaches?
It's great, and I think that's what sport is. In most sports, you actually do get an address from a coach at one stage or another throughout a match.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
tennis is probably the one that you don't get it, but they're actually starting to introduce it now a little bit more with coaching from the stands, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because in any other sport, you're going to get a timeout, you're going to get an opportunity to speak to somebody, and that's where bowls is absolutely fantastic. And
Oh, Val, I've seen so many players over the years. If they had someone to speak to, just a voice, just anyone to communicate with. There's
doesn't even matter if it's about bowls. It can just be to reassure yourself, what are we having for dinner tonight?
There would have been a lot of shots played differently and probably a lot of better results go their way. And I think of some of the best golfers in the world. How good have they got it when they can have a chat with a caddy? Well, that's a great shot.
It is. And Rosalini Di Coya, brilliant finish from her. And they're on the board are the Fijians. They score a 1. And Australia with a 6-1 buffer after 3. But yeah, you're right. The golfers can talk to a caddy. AFL teams get 3 addresses from their coach during a game. Quarter time, half time, 3/4 time. NFL, basketball.
And I encourage it for those bowlers out there, if you're really looking to improve your game or there's some certain titles you want to win, or maybe it's a club championship, anything like that. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you can go out there game day and have an extra voice on the sidelines, someone that can help you just stay composed and keep you in the right frame of mind, that's well within the rules, and make the most of it.
Yeah, and I think, look, it's not for everybody. Some people don't like to have a coach with them. They like to think things through themselves. But, I think when you have the ability to have a coach there, and like the Australians do in Karen Murphy, like the Fijians do in front of us, why not utilise it? It's within the rules. So, and you get these comments about players, why are they at the elite level if they still need a coach? Well, everybody's working to try and get better. People employ coaches to better themselves and make improvements, because nobody's ever perfect, and you need to embrace that imperfect nature of life.
As we see here, Christina on the backhand, right out to the peg right now. So that's right on the peg line. These these rinks are around about 16 feet wide. So that's indicating to you that's just falling a slight bit wide, but that's indicating that these bowlers are going out to around about that 8 foot, 7.5, 8 foot mark to get their line back to the centre.
We saw this at Helensvale last week in the men's pairs, where it was a 10-foot draw, Baz, and it's actually quite fun watching players try and toy around with their line and seeing how they can adapt, because this is why they are the world's best and why they're competing for such high accolades.
Yeah, spot on, Val. They're the They're the conditions of the greens. They're the conditions of the weather. Most times, as I've said, that east side that Christina's playing, no matter where you play up and down the east coast of Australia, especially here on the Gold Coast, if you're playing in the north-south direction, you'll find the east side always the wide side coming in off the ocean, and Christina is playing it well so far.
We spoke about it on green 3, Baz, the ocean side. It is a swinger. That one around the back. So Chrissy has found the weight and with her first, then the weight and line with her second. Can she absolutely nail it with her third?
Well, we've got a good indicator because of that chalk line there, Val. So if Chrissy's anywhere out near that chalk line, so she's just under it. It's still drifting out of touch, but she's just a fraction high. So you can sort of get a good indicator halfway where she's going to finish line-wise because of the chalk marks on the green, but a lot of greens don't have that. Most greens will just have the one chalk line down the middle. But then when you see these greens swapping and changing each direction, it's good to just have the multiple chalk lines and then the rotation left to right. So when you see these rinks, you see the line that Chrissy's standing on, that'll be a rink another time, maybe tomorrow or another day. And then they move the rinks around to even the wear. Remembering too that pre and post these World Championships, these greens are used nearly every day by the club members, but social bowlers, visitors, barefoot bowlers, functions, birthdays, parties, all that. So these greens do get a lot of activity on them, and the way they continue to hold up for the big events with all the wear they get is amazing.
It is, and Cameron Harris commenting, and we'll try and get Elizabeth to just hop off the centre line if we can. Didn't get the greatest view of that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just
Cameron Harris commenting, came here to watch bowls and left with deep life advice. That's what we try and do, Baz.
Thanks, Cameron.
Try and life coach you as well. I wouldn't be taking too much of my advice, though. I'm still not that experienced.
I've got an easy one for you, Cameron. Get around the D's tonight, mate. Good life advice. Okay, under the line here.
Big thank you to...
Needs to hang around. Connection on the front, one on the left there. Well, that helps. Might be two.
That wing bowl of Australia is the only thing that's making it anything less than a 4 right now. Alan Ryan will need to change and rectify things. Still got 2 left in the tank. Joey Wood, you're an absolute star. On the comments, Alan Ryan again gets the jack.
Great shot.
Probably one down. I'm not sure. It's very close.
Yeah, probably just favour that one of Alan's. But all of a sudden, Fiji do have 2 seconds. You can see here.
Now, this is good by Losalini Dikoya coming down and having a look. Coach stands up at the back. Joey Wood must say after yesterday's comments, loving the commentary, not biased at all, learning a lot. Thanks, guys, from the UK. And... yeah, we had a little bit of a heckler yesterday. He's been roaming around today, Barry. Seen him a couple of times. Had to watch my back.
I thought you would have turned up this morning with security.
I've got this big lion ring on, so that's my security. Just flash that. And
yeah, it's first for me. I've been fortunate enough to do a bit of commentating now over the years and be a part of the BA crew when it comes to the media side of things, going way back to the Grand Prix days, the old Australian Open days back at Darebin, and that is a first for me, Val. I've never ever had a heckler.
No, neither have I. I've had a couple of comments come through, but never anybody coming straight up and abusing. But, oh well, each to their own.
That's it. All our job is here to compliment the players, encourage them from the commentary box on a great job they're doing.
And it gives us a story to tell.
And that's right, and just tell the story that we're witnessing. And you see this bowl turning right away. So we've already seen a number of bowls, unfortunately, ineffective due to that. Look at that bowl, seriously. My goodness, it's gone through this gap here and right around
almost into the next rink.
It's only just inbounds.
And she didn't. She tossed it out far enough there. Did Lossalini and Abraham Boitava Tossoviti go Fiji? I hope I said that right. Always happy for my pronunciations to be corrected, so I get it right.
There's Bula Vanaka.
Yes.
There you go. G'day, AJ. Thanks for tuning in, great man.
Alan Ryan. Just great man, someone, Barry.
He is the great man, AJ. He can get legend, great man, champion. He can have the lot.
So the mat is going to the Australians. And they lead it 7-1 now. Speaking of 7-1, Barry, Malta leading Japan 7-1.
Well, AJ Abraham, who just commented there, just came back from his motherland, Fiji. Time over there with his family. Beautiful family. And AJ loves his bowls, plays down at Chugan Bowls Club.
Chugan, of course, not too far from the airport. Apparently, I haven't had the chance to get down there, but apparently you can get very close to the planes coming into land or taking off.
Yeah, great little club. Another club that puts their hand up every year for the Australian Open. They give up their greens every day to, really be a part of the Australian Open. Such a great event to be involved in from a little club like Chugan because, it's a great way to showcase their greens, their facilities to bowlers all around the world. And Chugan's been doing a great job of that for many years now. I remember coming up here for the first Australian Open back in 2015 and played at Chugan Bowls Club. Greens were phenomenal, and they still are. And you're right, Val, you can nearly reach up and grab them as they fly past the planes.
Yeah.
I think I spotted you in 1A one year.
1A, I would love to.
As you flew past.
I would love to sit in 1A at some stage. Joe Franzi, send any hecklers to be at green 2, mate. He's a star. I can see him over there, Joe Franzi, watching on. And Brian Swan, wouldn't worry too much, guys. You don't have to have a long neck to be a pelican. That's a good one, actually. Don't mind that.
So, Chrissy, good attempt there. I like that intent. Just to step into that with a little bit more weight and just try and disturb that. You're 6-1 up, 7-1 up. You're just trying to disturb the shot bowl, trying to trailer jack. And the beauty of that is, yes, she hasn't got what she was after, but she's now got a bowl back there. And she can try and dictate things from here. As we see, Jack on the move again.
Oh, that Jack is...
And you know why the Jack's moving around a lot, Val?
Because of the...
unpredictability of the turn. So...
Jack's got frequent flyer miles.
If the predictability of the draw and the turn was much kinder, there wouldn't be as much Jack movement. But some players are just missing their line and their weight because of the unpredictability, which is causing that Jack to start moving around. And that's something to be conscious of because, and that's perfect from Chrissy. She's given it a chance, but she's got back. So we're seeing the Jack pretty much move, I think, every end so far.
It's been most of them. Good to see. Peter Lucat saying 1F and you get a great view of Tugun. I do not sit in the first row of the plane, that is for sure. I wish I did. One day, maybe.
A good effort here. Once again, just strong turn, drawing away, trying to win both battles, which is line and length today here on this green too. The beauty about these greens at Broadbeach, which I really love, I must admit I've got a pet hate for bowling greens right under clubhouses. These greens are pretty much well and truly exposed to all the elements. Maybe a little bit safe from the strong southerlies, but all in all, these greens are right out in the open, and so you know what you're going to get when it comes to the conditions.
So what's your sort of bugaboo with bowls underneath clubhouses, guys?
Inconsistency.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so if you're playing under a big tall clubhouse or a clubhouse is really leaning over the top of a green, well,
the shadows it can create would be.
Well, you don't have to be a rocket science to know that down the other end, that's wide out in the open versus the end covered by a clubhouse is going to be extremely different, and I've seen that year after year at different venues, but
might create those patterns that we saw with Disco and Tony Chung yesterday. where one's more comfortable going in one direction, one's more comfortable in the other.
Maybe, yeah. You will see sort of players play to those elements and conditions, but all in all, clubs that have been around for 100+ years, that's just the room they've got, that's the space they've got, and that's just me saying, you know what, like you say, Val, one little tiny component to the game that
there's
is a little
nuances aplenty.
Yeah, and you know what, every bowler, every athlete, every sports person out there would have some form of little bugbear of some sort, and I don't know, why didn't Roger win more French?
Well, I can tell you why.
Mr. Nadal got in the way?
Exactly right. The big lefty,
look,
top spinning for. Wow, that is almost in the ditch.
Yeah, that's crossed the border. That's crossed the border and gone the other way.
Wow. She threw it out wide, did Lossolini Dicoya, and a big smile on her face as well. She's trying things, and it wasn't a bad idea.
Bowl clean. She's got it.
Ellen Ryan.
That makes 3 or 4.
Flying Ryan. That bowl was flying.
So huge correction required here from Lossolini on the backhand again. But she is looking at another option. I think the quicker the better Fiji give up the ditch side. I think it's going to work out well for them. I think they'll get more consistency out of it. Just playing the inside. I actually said to you boys when we were down at ringside before, I think the best side for me would be to try and stay away from that ditch side. But as we're seeing here, the effective rate on the ditch side's very low for
so inconsistent. And look
Fiji.
at where that has ended up, Barry Lester.
Maybe third.
I think Chrissy thinks it's 2. And Elizabeth Mothewai has taken 1 out already. They're going to measure. Of course, you can get down to the Broadbeach Bowls Club, head to the trade tent. You can get some Jackaroos supporter gear. Puma have done a great job in providing some of that, and we've got it in the trades tent for you. As the measure comes through, we'll get this all confirmed. Didn't quite see the score indication there, whether that was 1 or 2. That was a very quick signal. I believe it was 2, but we'll get that amended if not. Definitely a 2. All confirmed. So 9-1 Australia. Well and truly in cruise control here. But the problem for the Aussies is that Malta lead Japan 10-1. Rebecca and Connie Rickson well on their way to booking their spot in the quarterfinals. And Christina Christic starting to find her range here.
Well, all the local establishments around Richmond right now will be starting to fill up, Val.
Yep, Swan Street, even the Melbourne CBD would be absolutely packed. And
AFL finals time.
Locke and I actually, we bought tickets to Brisbane versus Port Adelaide at the Gabba on Saturday nights. After the first lot of finals, we're going to make the trek up to Brisbane.
Yeah, enjoy, mate. Enjoy. I think Brisbane get the job done there. I think Cameron's going to have a blinder. As we see, great leading again from Christina. And, okay, it's not counting that last bowl, but when it comes to 3 bowl leading, 2 on 1 behind is the perfect scenario. And so far, it's 1 on 1 behind. I'm sure she won't be far away with her next.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting game tonight, Baz. And I think the ruck battle, interesting to see how Max Gawn goes. Brody Grundy playing, or is he out?
I think he's already moved to Adelaide, hasn't he?
I think so.
So Alan Ryan cheering this one on for Christina.
And Chrissy has found
Jack.
She's found her weight, and she's found a line that is working at the moment, and she's zeroing in on these heads. So, Elizabeth Mothewe looking to find her own line here and looking to find things, and they're urging it on here. Lossalini Decoya doesn't mind it too much. And I'll tell you what, that is a ripping finish.
Yeah, a couple of goodies there. So just maybe not winning the shot, I'm not sure, but at least winning the battle of bowls around the head. So Fiji lying a good head here. Ellen knows. Just needs to get a couple in there before she starts looking at something to make a number. Forehand perhaps. Ball inside Christina's.
So the Australians, they're well and truly in cruise control here, but the problem is Malta well and truly in cruise control against Japan for the Aussies, and that could spell the end of the competition. Rickson sisters, such a dangerous proposition for anybody considering they live up here in Queensland. What has Alan Ryan got here? This might just start to dart underneath. Really impressed with how these players have adapted here, Baz, and it's not easy out there. Would be very different to Fiji in conditions. I'd imagine that those greens might be quite slow with the humidity up there.
Yeah, I can't speak literally about the greens in Fiji. I can only tell you what I've heard. Well,
let's open things up here for Alan Ryan.
Yeah, great facilities. I know Suva Bowls Club's very active on socials. Looks like a great fun place to play bowls, so shout out to them. I unfortunately haven't played bowls in Fiji, been over there for holiday, but Alan Ryan looking for a clean out, some jack movement.
And look at that bowl just pirouetting. I guess from what I know, the greens are pretty good over there in Fiji and wouldn't reach the speeds of Broadbeach here, but they do love their bowls in Fiji, and they've been a very strong country when it comes to bowls for a long time, and had some big-name players do great things, and as we know, their rugby players, they're phenomenal. Some of the best in the world. Great shot there. That was going to get draw. I thought that was going to draw a shot anyway without the slide. Well, it's done that either way. So nicely played, Alan Ryan. Almost cleared them all out before, but a nice bowl from Lossalini Decoya. Jonathan David Hall watching from Harare in Zimbabwe. Great to have your company. Covered the Zimbabwean women's pairs team yesterday, Jane Rigby and Karen Sinclair. It's great to see them. Such lovely people.
Alan Ryan. She's close for the jack again here.
And got it, but sent it straight into the bowl of Lossalini Decoya.
Big effort.
And that last bowl worked out quite nicely for the Fijian skip.
Yeah, I think we'll see Lossalini now switch over to the forehand, try and sit that bowl of Christina. Whoa, no, backhand it is.
So Leanne Patterson, the greens in Fiji run at 12 seconds in Suva and lived there for 8 years.
Thanks, Leanne.
For the input there. That's great. Great knowledge. That's underneath there from Lossalini. And it'll be 1-2 Fiji. Will they measure for a second here? Just the one. So Fiji back on the board for the second time. And it's 9-2 in favour of Australia.
So, Val, in 2016, when I was in Fiji, the Olympics were on.
In what year, sorry?
2016.
2016, yep.
What was that, Rio?
Rio, yes.
Rio Olympics. And so I just happened to be over there on holiday and staying at the Navidi Resort. And the final of the Rugby Sevens was on.
Which I think that was the first Rugby Sevens at an Olympics, and Fiji won it.
Against?
I think it was the Aussies, wasn't it?
No.
Or New Zealand. I can't quite
I thought
remember.
It was England.
Might have been. Sure,
But
some Fijians might be able to tell us in the audience.
And the people, the staff, everyone was so nice. We were having such a great holiday. And on that particular night, of course, you can't help but watch and obviously support the Fijians, our fairly local neighbours. You know, it's only a little flight over to Fiji. And as the game was progressing, it was a really great game. Fiji went on to win it. And I will never forget, like it was like yesterday, and you couldn't help but shed a tear with them all. It was Fiji's first ever Olympic gold medal.
One of their national sports.
In their history, in the actual history of all sports for Fiji, and all the staff, all the locals were laying on the ground, hugging and embracing each other and crying, and it's something I'll never, ever forget. It was such a historical moment, but such an emotional moment, and in Fiji's, in their country's history. So I was absolutely honoured to be a part of it, and you couldn't wipe the smiles off their dials.
Gareth Rees-Gibbs watching back from South Africa after a long flight from Australia. We hope you got home safe.
So no one really grabbing this end just yet. Got a bit of traffic in the way up on the forehand. Here's Chrissy. She's just trying to find the right angle. She needs the clear road now. Well, just connecting. So both angles to the jack to exactly get to the jack are pretty much covered now, but you still now have to run the risk, Elizabeth, on trying to just get as close as you can on this high drawing backhand.
Gareth Rees-Gibbs was absolutely immense in that para men's pairs final, Baz, in what was one of the most epic matches of this competition, and the rivalry between Australia and South Africa in the para disciplines. Wow. Two barnstorming contests in the vision impaired mixed pairs, and then the para men's pairs. Great to have your company, Gareth, and hopefully the jet lag's not too bad.
So Christina Christic switching to the backhand, this high drawing side. She needs the jack or it's going to get away. She's got it.
Again, more jack movement. That jack, I think, is a gold frequent flyer member, that's for sure. It has moved a lot in this match.
Yeah, it's just something I'd like to really pinpoint why it happens, but it's just something I've seen over my 27 years of bowling in tricky, fluky conditions when you're trying to play a clean line to the jack, when the draw's a little bit unique. Just the jack just seems to move around a lot, and we're seeing that every end so far. Jack ending up in a new location by the time the end's over.
And then you've got to change your line to something different, which means you might have to make a correction, and you may be well under or well over. And look at the way that has darted away for Lossalini Decoya. Utter concentration needed to get your line right. Australia lead 9-2. Chrissy wanting this to get down. Kind of wasn't sure if it was going to get around the front, but Ellen Ryan has found her way beautifully towards the jack. So the women's triples quarterfinals are settled here, and Locke has popped them up in the comments. Australia v South Africa, England v Ireland, New Zealand v Malaysia, and India versus Canada. India, wow, they were sensational, topping their group. Didn't lose. 6 wins, 0 losses. Malaysia knocking out Scotland. Gareth Rees-Gibbs, what an amazing experience it was. Played in great spirit by all the players, and it really was. It was a sensational match, and one that had everybody on the edge of their seats, and both teams deserving winners, and another match that if you could split and halve the gold medal, you would. Well done to you, Gareth, and good luck with all the future endeavours for South Africa, and we're sure we'll see you again very soon over on these shores.
Yeah, we wish they weren't so far away. Our South African friends need some contact. Well, it's the wrong one. Oh, she's ended up cleaning a few of her own out, but I still think it's probably just the 3.
So Ellen Ryan might pop in one more here. So this would be good for Australia just to give themselves a little bit of a buffer, or more so of a buffer. They lead 9-2. Chrissy's urging it down. All it needs to do is stop, and Ellen Ryan has put in a fourth. 13-2, the Aussies holding sway here against Fiji as we near the halfway point of this match. 18 ends, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, conditions slowly, Val, very slowly changing. The temperature, this is about that time of day where everyone starts just to, unless you've got a really good spot in the sun, just starts to reach for a jumper or a jacket or a hoodie or a vest or something like that. Just see the conditions start to change slightly around that sort of 3 o'clock, 3:30 onwards mark. And
I'm still pretty warm at the moment, Baz, but around about that 4 o'clock is when you and I have started to go for the jackets. Malta leading Japan 13-2, Barry Lester.
Yeah.
So things not looking so good for the Australian contingent here.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's Malta, as you mentioned, the Rickson family, mother and 2 daughters all playing together to win a medal at the Commonwealth Games. It doesn't get... That's what dreams are made of, isn't it?
It is. To win with your family, it's such a rarity in sport. And
I'd love to know other sports that have done something similar, Val. Because
maybe curling. I can see something along those lines. Bocce, but bocce don't really go to too high a level.
So here we are again, Christina Christic. Look at this high draw, right out near the peg, coming back nicely. That is definitely the hand I'd be out there drawing on, and she's getting rewarded for playing a really nice, clean drawing hand, using the nice east side draw. We see here at Broadbeach, well renowned for their beautiful draw bowling greens.
So Aaron Wilson, he's up 12-7 at the moment, but Frank de Vries of the Netherlands is playing absolutely brilliantly out there. A couple of rinks over. We'll bring you a score update when our marker does indicate what the shot count is, as Christina Christic, she's going to drift underneath and a little short, but not a bad home, and Australia probably still holding 3. And Disco down 2 on that end. So 12-9, Aaron Wilson leads over Frank de Vries. They've played 11 ends, a couple of doors over. Australia leading here, 13-2. And coincidentally, that's what Malta lead Japan by. So the Maltese contingent, Rebecca and Connie Rickson, they look as though they might be heading through to the quarterfinals. And Jonathan David Hall, Zimbabwe cricket was famous for having 3 pairs of brothers and a pair of cousins at the same time. I know the Flowers, very prominent. I know that Masakadzas, the brothers. So Ellen Ryan looks to find her way to the back and get in between these 2 red bowls, and a little clap of the hands from Christina Christic. Backhand for Selene Decoya. And she's close to something here. She's got the jack, and the jack again spilled out, and the bowl right next to it. Brilliant shot from the Fijian skip. A jack moved again. And it's getting close to platinum frequent flyer miles. Ellen Ryan not too far away, clears out a few bowls, and Chrissy has to act quickly to clear them out of the head next door. As I said, the jack is getting close to platinum. Barry Lester just flashes me his platinum card. I'm not going to let you let that one slide, Baz. You put that right in my face.
No, I need the extra luggage.
And you know what you do. Travelling with bowls bags and extra weight, you need it.
Golf clubs, especially going to Tassie, Barnbougle. That is that would be a dream come true to my Tassie friends. Please, do you know anyone at Barnbougle? Take those golf clubs with me. Alan Ryan, quick again, forehand, needs to clear the front. She's done that, but just missing high.
So Lossalini Decoya with an opportunity to pop in a second one. Just needs something similar to the shot bowl.
Well, all of a sudden, Aaron Wilson, 12-9.
Yeah. Just brought an update to those scores, and Frank de Vries is playing really, really well. He's got a front hopper, however. So, 1 to Fiji there. Brilliant bowl from Lossalini Decoya. They win their third end of the match. It's 13-3 in favour of the Australians. Been a really entertaining one in terms of seeing how the bowlers can adapt themselves to these conditions. They're tricky, they're swinging. And Elizabeth off fairway and Lossalini Decoya have had an enjoyable tournament. They won't feature anymore, and the way things are going, Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan might not be featuring anymore.
Yeah, lovely starter there by Elizabeth. 29, probably, no, a bit longer than that actually. Probably 32, 33 metres. Very long length. Christina Christic out on the forehand. She's right in line with the peg right now. So that gives you an indicator of this kind of draw. Now let's see where it finishes. So from the peg line, which is about 8 feet off the centre line, right back and almost to the middle. So that's how wide this green is turning. They've got to find the right line and the right weight over that distance of 32 metres. Just to that question from Nathan Salmon. That game doesn't look like it's being played. There may have been a pull-out or some kind of walkover. We'll find out for you, Nathan. As we look across the green, Wales 15, Argentina 4. We've got Fiji 11 to Turkey 4. Okay, so Locke, our esteemed statsman, IT guru, and all-round good bloke, has just informed us, yes, the game between Tony Chung and Spain is a walkover. Spain is pulled out injured. So, Israel lead 16 over Niue, 7. Another beautiful part of the world is Niue. And Australia, Aaron Wilson up 13-9 over the Netherlands. As we see Christina Christic here, 2 down. Look at the angle this bowl's coming in on. So much touch needed, and that is a touch of class from Christina Christic. Not taking anything away from Elizabeth, though. 2 beautiful lead bowls and 1 round the back, so well done to her. Both players playing well, trying their best on this beautiful wide drawing green. Green 2 at Broadbeach in the north-south direction with the slightest of slight northwesterly breezes. So Fiji, 10 down, 9 to play. Backhand it is from Lossalini. On the backhand, looking to turn the red bowls up. She might get the jack here. Oh, close. Nearly got the bowl clean on the backhand. As we see yet another magpie.
They're just taunting you, Barry. They're saying, we know the Pies are going to win tonight.
Yeah, well.
Be a good game, 100,000 at the G. There is nothing better. Well, there is something better, and it's being here for the World Bowls Championships on the Gold Coast.
That's right. Surround sound to be on tonight. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm disappointed I didn't get an invite to watch, Baz.
I don't even know where I'm watching. I might maybe walk the dog and catch a few glimpses on the app. But
yeah, fair enough. Too nervous. See, I'm more when I'm watching Richmond, I've either got to be home or at the game.
Forehand for Lossalini here. It's got to be with a bit of weight, looking for the shot bowl of Christina Christics out on a nice line. Will it get back in time? Not going to. I think she can take a lot out of that, though, because this is going to get back. As you can see, she's missing high of her target, but that got back to the right under the number, as we see there. So, a lot of options forehand. Even if Allen even closes his head down, shuts it down by turning her own over the jack or bowl or flopping off it herself. And as we see, the Netherlands picking up another end, so only 3 in it now. Aaron Wilson 13, Netherlands 10. But of course, Aaron Wilson, he'll be progressing.
He will. And in his group, it'll be Tony Chung as well. Dan Salmon, casualty. Though he's winning, Tony Chung gets the walk through into the quarterfinals.
Well, he pushed Aaron Wilson to a couple of shots.
That was one of the matches of the tournament there. The patterns were unreal. The shot making was sensational. And we had no idea who was going to win until the very end. And to push Disco right to the time limit, that's something that doesn't usually get done. So it was a formidable performance by Tony Chung, and he will take a lot of confidence going to Helensvale tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to be at Helensvale. Looking forward to that. Barry Lester.
Yep.
Final day at Club Helensvale. They've done a great job out there.
Right into the business end now we are. One shot to Australia. Great shot, Christina Christic. But also, as I pointed out, Elizabeth, those 2 beautiful draw shots just weren't enough in the end. But well done to both leads. So
tomorrow we're going to be doing men's 4s and women's triples. That's on the agenda tomorrow. There's only 2 sessions, 8:30 a.m. I believe. Yep, 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So check your local guides. Australia score a 1. Lead at 14-3. It's going end for end at the moment. We've split the last 5. Australia, Fiji, Australia, Fiji, Australia. Around the rinks, and Malta still well and truly ahead of Japan. 13-4. Halfway through here as the Australians look to finish their tournament on a high. Will it be finished? Who knows? Will Japan stage a comeback? We know it's not in their nature to give up.
Christina, 1 yard short on the line. Elizabeth, similar weight, just slightly offline. So both players not needing much of a correction. Just a couple of rotations. Christina on that beautiful line again. She's really set into a rhythm here on this wide side. Look at that.
Another little nudge of the jack. We might be running out of chalk spray as well.
Yeah, no, it's to make the most of this clean hand, and that's rink management. So Christina saw unique, very sort of unorthodox turn on that ditch side. So she said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try and beat it. I'm going to get onto the eastern side hand, and I feel it's the better hand. And that's showing you exactly it's an easier hand. 3 out of the 4 bowls right on the spine of the rink. And that's one of the main ingredients to bowls. One big job and box ticked, getting the right line. So Christina, good rink management on her behalf to find the right hand and to try and stick to it. Just missing her weight on that occasion.
Of course, Baz, you mentioned the right line, Bowls Australia's official podcast. You've been on a couple of times.
Yeah, I have, and I really look forward to some more episodes post World Bowl.
There'll be plenty, don't you worry. Hopefully, I'll get Lindsay Clark back.
Absolutely, yeah.
She's been working very hard at her craft, and that she's got no more international bowls to worry about. Fingers crossed. But right here, there is plenty on the line. Australia will continue to push and continue to fight and ensure that they at least do their part and make Malta win 13-5. The English Sharon Brace, they are playing in the women's pairs. They lead Switzerland 8-7.
Lossolini on the backhand. Trying to get something in there. Even sit the bowl or trail the jack. Well, she's got enough weight to disturb something. She just can't get something full. Well, just missing under.
Very lucky sometimes to be sitting here at Broadbeach. Beautiful sunshine, a great view of the Surfers Paradise skyline there with the Q1 building and the big Peppers building in the background, the hotel. Love to stay there one night. Looks absolutely magnificent. You ever stayed in there, Baz? Big Peppers building and Surfers?
No, 5 stars, bow to my budget, mate. No, I just stick to your Holiday Inns and your...
5-star, is it?
Oh,
does look pretty nice. So
I would have thought.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Best Western Holiday Inn kind of guy, mate. None of this 5-star with you guys. And but yeah, we're spoiled. We've got a lot of great places to play up here, stay up here. If anything, I'll probably just crash at my mate's place down in Burleigh, Indigo Blue Apartments.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely. Right on the beach edge there, down in Burleigh. Tony and Kate do a great job down there.
We're, of course, at the Avani Residences, who absolutely great service in there. Had no air conditioner for for a few days, so the sleep was starting to get affected. So I went and asked if I could change rooms. They left me a bottle of rosé and an apology, which they definitely didn't need to do. Go the extra mile there.
Well, not a mile away from jack movement here is Lossolini wiggling up. Well,
just passed.
Going to get second.
So the Aussies get another one. Only dropped 3 ends in this match, no multiples. And for the first time since end 4 and 5, the Australians win, or someone wins multiple ends in a row. 13-5, Malta lead Japan after 9. They're only halfway through. Will the Japanese stage a comeback? Who knows? They're only 8 behind. It is doable. We saw it this morning. Australia leaps and bounds ahead of Hong Kong, China. Angel So and Helen Chung making that one of the more wonderful contests of this World Bowls Championships for 2023. The first tournament back in 7 years. Christchurch 2016 was the most recent edition for such a long time, thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. Christina Christic has had a brilliant game, leading superbly. Elizabeth Mothewa sending this out on a pretty good track. We're going to watch it come down now. Will it have enough on it? The line, sensational. The weights needed more.
Yeah, and that's the players just trying their best. Val, you know this. It's not easy. You're trying to send the ball out on a really high, sharp line, and while you're doing that, it's putting so much focus and energy into hitting that line and doing it well. Then you've got to actually master the weight that comes with it. So as we see there, Christina, 2 bowls inside a yard. That's good going, these conditions. Better weight. Probably needs some contact now. Probably
She got
half. Well, not
Don't
quite.
think she's done enough, but she did get the contact, so she stays around. 15-3 is the score, and Australia well and truly in cruise control here. Christina Christic continues to find her line, continues to find her weight. She's going to drift past, but look at the line, Baz. She's found it magnificently.
Yeah, I go back to many years ago playing in Victoria up in the Wimmera and up around the Murray. I think of clubs I've played at like Barham and Moama and those kind of places. Bendigo, of course, beautiful Tiff Dwarf greens, and yeah, you get some great turn off the ditches.
Tell you what,
especially
Moama,
going back to the old grass days, but now Barham, well, they got one of the best indoor facilities going around.
And of course, Moama, one of the hosts of the Bowls Premier League. They are the February hosts, and what a wonderful job they do. We've had Stewie White from Moama up here working with us here at Broadbeach.
Does he actually ever sit still? Stewie White? Does he actually ever sit still? He is a go-getter, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very, very, very capable individual.
Yeah, Stewie, good job, mate. You and the rest of the team.
He's a great guy to have around as well. Always good for a laugh, and you see him at Moama. He just works so hard. Him and Kevy Anderson do a great job down there. And old Swanee.
Johnny Wallage, Swanee. He tuned in yesterday. Swanee used to be out of the Sunbury Bowling Club. Used to work for Qantas, and now retired, living a beautiful life up there in Moama.
So, Ellen Ryan, what can she do now? Danger signs for the Aussies as Malta have pulled ahead to a 17-5 buffer over the Japanese.
Look at the line here, Val, coming right back. That is, it's going to cross the line.
How did that cross, Barry?
Yeah, it's a bit of a whirlpool out there.
Yep, there's a vortex, and that jack might have its own orbit. Who knows? The line certainly does. Lossalini Decoya. This one might have enough weight to obstruct things here.
Needs to hurry because it'll get away sharply, Val. Look at it go. See up. Leader.
Yeah, just the way that they dart back in. Ellen Ryan jogs in behind it with what could be one of the last bowls of the Australians tournaments. Gets in beautifully there.
It's class.
She is having a great match. So is Chrissy.
So Lossalini, backhand it will be. I think it needs to be weight, or do you go big on the forehand and go massive at the pack? Because Australia, they're holding a handful here. Very tough shot to play when drawing. This is coming back. Is it going to get back in time, Val? Any jack movement? She's got the jack.
She does. The jack moves again.
5 down to 1 down, I believe, unless she hung around close enough.
I reckon.
Well, there
yeah,
you
no,
go.
she got it.
Massive
Beautifully
save.
done. from Lossalini De Koya. I wasn't sure that was going to get down, but always trust this grass at this time of the day when it's running like this. Turning a mile, hooping back.
Yeah, backed herself in there.
Fiji back on level, back on the board. 15-4 to the Australians, but looks as though it might all be for naught.
With all that travelling last year, Val, have you got a little bit of leave backed up yet to try and sneak over to Fiji, mate?
Probably not. Saving up for the wedding, so got the leave, but got to save up for the wedding, and got that in October next year.
Well,
So
I recommend it, mate.
definitely could be on the cards on the way back home, on the honeymoon maybe, who knows.
And if you're willing and able and got the time, geez, if you don't have to travel too far when you look at the Cook Islands, Niue.
Yep.
Now we played against Niue.
The Com Games maybe last year.
Yeah, but it was more so, I'm pretty sure, 219 Asia Pacifics. We're chatting to the Niue team there, and they were giving us a bit of a description on you just grab some flippers and a snorkel, and off you go. Do a little bit of spear fishing, and
I'd love to go. And I looked it up
amazing.
after Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker won the Australian Open in 2019, and Olivia Bloomfield, of course, from Niue and played for them at the Com Games last year. Their premier, actually, Dalton Tagalagi, played at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. So mixing politics and sport, which was great to see. And
yeah, you love to see not only these countries competing in this event, but to hear about their cultures and to hear about their country and what they have to offer. And when they start talking about spearfishing with some snorkels and some flip-flops, wow, how good is it? But yeah,
and Olivia Bloomfield as well, one of the characters of the sport. Baz, we saw that famous speech after she won the AO title.
Yeah, now working up here, I believe.
At Helensvale, yes, correct.
So, Chrissy, look at that, right down the middle again. That just shows technically she's really set up well to be able to hit that line time and time again, as well as Elizabeth. Look at this, 4 bowls right down the middle. Hats off to both players. And now it's just a matter of nailing the exact weight.
So the Australians are in massive strife here in terms of what the Maltese score is. They're a long way ahead of Japan as the Rickson sisters look to book their place in the quarterfinal. Ian McLean and Izatzel Kepler, they are through to the quarterfinals in the men's singles. I believe that Aaron Wilson might be up against Ian McLean.
Well, Aaron Wilson, he's...
It might be someone else. Actually, I think Section 1, maybe Andrew Kelly.
He's in a little bit of a battle, is Aaron. A couple down the head and up 15-12, but you can almost see the finish line for Aaron Wilson. He's been long days for these players, and I know I speak about it a lot, but they're up early, going for a walk, having some brekkie, team breakfast, and hydrating and getting ready for a long day. On their feet a lot, these players, and I mentioned the other day, Val, a lot of these players doing all the small things at the end of the day's play, jumping in the compression boots, jumping in the pool, trying to do all they can to help set up their recovery. And that's where a lot of these players will either have their own recovery boots, massage guns, etc., or the team will supply them and have an actual recovery room. So somewhere to just go and chill out for the night for an hour or so and just talk to the rest of the team and talk about how their day went in the recovery boots, circulation boots, massage guns, foam rollers, you name it. Alan Ryan. Well, that's enough. Yep, that's probably the shot. So coming in on a high line as well. Lossalini, well, she did it with the last bowl, last end. Can she strangle back this shot here
Tell you what, she's not far away. It is going to just start under, but it is going to take a little bit of the jack, halve it, unfortunately, from a Fiji point of view, towards those two Australian bowls. So Christic and Ryan, it's been a great ride for them, but the two teams that have beaten them, England and Malta, they're the ones that look like they are going to progress. And Malta almost tying with Switzerland this morning. Lara Butler so close to sending that one into overdrive at the end. Just missing the jack that would have tied the game and given Australia prime position to go through to the quarterfinals. But Malta have been unflappable today, have done what they've needed to do, and Australia might be left wondering what if.
Yeah, well, Lossalini, well, she has, as you can see, a few bowls to the bottom right hand of the screen, but trying to get the jack there is going to be hard.
Aaron Wilson, 15-13 against Frank de Vries. It's quite close as well.
Okay, Fiji and Skip, Lossalini looking for the both bowls of Australia to make a couple or potential jack. Let's see if she gets down here with some strong weight on her forehand. Yes, she is. Forehand with weight. She's pretty close here, Val.
Not far away. Lossalini Decoya.
She's got one out.
Got one.
Reduced it to one.
So the Australians forge ahead even more. 16-4 is the lead. Oh, sorry. Still one more to Ellen Ryan. She put in a second here. That will be a measure. So one it is. Aaron Wilson popping one on a front hopper there. So one to Australia it was. So 16-4 is the lead. I was right before Ellen Ryan put the bowl down. Didn't mean to go the early crow. Japan and Malta 18-5. The lead to the Maltese. They're now more than 2 full counts ahead. Of course, in this knockout or in the sectional rounds, we'll play out the full allotment of ends because of shots up purposes. And Christina Christie continues to find that line. It's been a tricky rink, but she has nailed it on every occasion almost. Elizabeth Mothewa. Trying to find some width as well. Has she got the weight though? Underneath what she was after. So Chrissy doesn't need to do much more than her last.
Playing a rare bowl on the backhand is Chrissy in this direction. That's the reason why it's just hard to get to the centre line. Just moving away a fraction, but still handy.
A ditch side, and she got her weight smack bang on the money. Aaron Wilson has popped 3 right in front of the jack here against Frank de Vries. Leads 15-13 there. That's a really close contest. Australia versus the Netherlands.
Christina, fraction higher. Will it hold on for her, though? She's asking it to hold. Needs connection. Well, that'll do.
More jack movement.
Yeah.
Look at the way Chrissy has found the line, though. All of her 3 bowls, despite a little crash there, but all 3 are sitting in a perfect straight line. That caterpillar that you mentioned earlier, Baz, looking very healthy and very blue.
Yeah, that's the desired outcome for any player.
Now there's a piece of red in the stomach.
Yeah, you're always looking to try and nail the line. And that's a handy result there. 1 down to Fiji. Australia holding on. Christina, 3 bowls inside a couple of feet. Great leading, rock solid. We've seen her rock solid all day today. Well done to Hong Kong, China this morning, pushing Australia all the way, picking up a big number in that second last end. And just
What a
goes
match
to show,
that was.
Yeah, it just goes to show they clawed and they scraped all the way right to the end and nearly come up with the goods. But Aussies played a couple of big ones when it mattered, and there's all those little wins you have along the way. Ideally, they're enough to get you into the finals. And Australia sort of starting into miracle territory now, playing so well here, but unfortunately only 2 can go through. And there has been other events in the past, and I've been speaking to some people saying, why is there only 2? And sometimes there's been 3 and 4 and that in years gone by. Well, that's the current format, especially with the 44 countries.
More jack movement there for Lossalini Decoya.
That'll do.
Where does she follow it? The jack hasn't quite gone in the ditch, but Lossalini has followed it to perfection, as you can see it there on the 45. Look at how she's followed that down. It's on the precipice of going out. Ellen Ryan's going to have to take a much different line.
Well, I'll be interested to see what this bowl does, because I believe there's maybe no way to get back from there, and that's going the other way.
Does not stay at all. It's gone straight out of bounds.
So this is a very tough shot. You're trying to have enough weight to get out to the high line and then hold to get back, and this is generally what's going to happen. Conditions win, and you find it nearly impossible. So Alan Ryan might nearly even charge at the jack here. Try and play a real sort of solid, positive-looking draw shot to get up to the jack, but let's see what the conditions do here. Once again, see you later.
Going to turn. And the weight was not too bad. It was similar to sort of the first one that she put out there. But Lossalini Decoya with a great effort. What can she do here?
No.
This one is going to start straight away, Baz. Now,
it's just...
have a look at that. The turn on that bowl, Baz. That's all. That's come over the centre line, and she's bowled that from outside the pegs.
Yeah, no, I'm just... us, Val, all we can do is just feel what the players are going through, and sometimes the conditions just make you think twice and try and come up with a way to answer. But unfortunately, no answer there for all the players. All they could do is try and keep the count low, and it was 1-2 Fiji.
So 16-5 is the Australian lead. They've done everything that they needed to do. So far, by no means is it over. But it's an absolute rort on the other rink. Malta 19-5 leading Japan. They have been magnificent, the Rickson sisters. You can't put a foot wrong in these events, and they certainly haven't.
The lights are on, Val. That's this bit of shadow coming over, as you see.
Yep. And I think, Baz, credit to Connie and Rebecca Rickson, because after they beat the Australians on day one, they couldn't afford to slip. And the only match that they've lost has been to England.
Yeah, they've had to dance on the edge And that's the thing. Once they defeated Australia, like I know what you're saying, it's sort of like, well, all of a sudden you've done the hard work. Don't now take the foot off the pedal, sort of thing.
You can't be complacent.
That's right.
At all.
And they've managed to, as you see there, they're 19-5 up against Japan, and just looking at the lights here, Val, it's another great initiative to come into the sport of bowls, probably for the last 10 years now. And that's the LED lighting. For clubs out there, if you've got lights, and they're the old big lamp lights, the old high bay lamps, they are very, very taxing on your power bill. And if you're a club that's looking to be very active at night, play night bowls, which we love to really encourage clubs to get out there and play night bowls. People, knocking off after work and trying to come down to the club and play. Look at what grants are available. Speak to your local state association, or even give Bowls Australia a call, because if you can switch from high bay lamps to LED lights, much better for the environment and much better for your power bill. So great to see Broadbeach here providing the best state-of-the-art lighting in which these conditions need, because sometimes you get a bit of a dark, stormy day, you're definitely going to need the lights on. So Christina needs to find a yard. Yard, 4 feet of weight. See, she just stepped into that one with a bit more purpose. See if she gets the reward. Coming back nicely. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. So 2-2 Elizabeth. Fiji holding 2. Double figures would be a nice little win for them here.
Yeah,
Val.
I think so. They've got 5 ends including this one, to get there. Need to score 5 shots.
Lovely shot from Lossolini. Borderline counting, probably just slid out at the end. As we see, 1 shot in it now. Australia versus the Netherlands. Aaron Wilson, 1 up. Coming in with his second delivery. That's going to be enough for shot. He was probably 1 down before that. So, bit of a nail biter there. But Aaron will be feeling pretty chilled, pretty relaxed. He knows he's done a lot of hard work to put himself in this position. Christine is cheering on Alan Ryan. Well, that's enough for shot. Great shot, Alan Ryan.
They've been able to figure out their line, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. Alan's backed herself in that forehand. I remember playing on this particular rink a couple of years ago in an event, and you've got to just back yourself on the draw on that wide side. As we see Lossolini here, she's got to play weight under the front. Looking for this shot bowl of Alan Ryan's. Needs to hurry up and get here.
She's going to crash in on a few things. Got a little bit of the jack, pinballed its way through to the back of the rink. So they've got the tee now. They've got a couple on there to Fiji, but Jack well and truly protected by Alan Ryan's bowl now. Alan tossing this one out. It is going to start to make its way back. Chrissy wants it to stop and hold. I think Alan's weight might have done enough. Not too bad. Good effort.
Running on a fraction. Lossolini, I think good option. Come down and have a look, because if she's got two seconds, she can have a really good look at this bowl. But if she's only got the 1 second, she doesn't want to pluck her front red one out to be 2 down. So, but I think she wasn't that far away with her previous attempt, so something similar won't hurt.
So, Lossolini, Decoya would absolutely love to get them to double figures here, as you said, Baz. And Reg Montgomery, greetings from Blackburn. Vic, will we see disco on the live stream tomorrow? No, it's going to be women's triples and men's fours. That's what we're covering tomorrow at Club Helensvale. Very much looking forward to that. Aaron Wilson against Frank de Vries. 16-15 he leads. So the Aussies get a 1. And they move out to a 17-5 buffer. Oh, sorry, Alan's got one more. Got this bar in my way, Baz, and it's blocking right where the mat is.
Yeah, you're doing well, Val. Done a great job, mate.
Not there.
Oh, well, mate. It's okay, mate. Sometimes when you look up, you can't actually see the bowl as well, so might be behind someone where they're standing, but that occasion.
So we'll get a measure for the second here and whether Alan has actually made it in. I'm tending to favour maybe the red bowl, but we'll see. And Alan Ryan, she gets in for the second. Nicely played there. Australia 18-5. So they're well and truly on their way to another victory. But alas, Malta lead Japan 19-6. And the Rickson sisters, well, they've been amazing throughout this week. Connie and Rebecca, they live out here. Mum, Rose, and the two daughters won bronze together at the Com Games in 2018.
Christina Christic. It's just been rhythm on this forehand and backhand, this east side. As we see the green, just slow down a fraction here. Nice shot, 18 inches away. So can Fiji try and hit that little magic number of 10? A good little win for them.
So Christina Christic has probably been almost the player of the match here with the way that she found her line and range from an early round or from an early portion of this match. There's still a few sectional men's singles sectional games to come tomorrow. Disco is done, so he'll get the day off. But like Alan Ryan in the singles, some matches finished early and Alan had to play out a couple more just due to sheer weight of, or the sheer size of some of the sections. So that's why some of them are on Saturday. But for 3 of the disciplines, sectional rounds finish today. 3.5 disciplines, really. Chrissy again finding something there on the wire. They're just swooping back late, but on the ocean side, Chrissy has just found something nice and she continues to pepper away at the heads and ensure that Fiji have to answer the questions. Elizabeth Mothewa does nicely though.
And a round of applause from her teammates over the fence there.
Sharon Williams-Callis. Hi, Baz. The Rickson girls are doing great. Don't forget me in the bronze. That's exactly right. Sharon Callis,
of course,
was the 4th member of that team.
Good to hear from you, Sharon.
With the trio of Ricksons. How can we forget you, Sharon? Great to have your company as well.
Alan Ryan, she might get stuck into this early here. She has played this wide side particularly pretty well the last few ends. Well, it is going to be just over the draw, I feel. Trying to arrive round the front. Okay, just missing under.
(21-6), 4 ends to play in favour of Malta over Japan. It's almost curtains for Australia.
Aaron Wilson, I think he's lost the lead for the first time in the game.
He has 17-16, I think, in favour of Frank de Vries. Switzerland haven't won a match in the women's pairs. Lara Butler and Marianne Kunzlet, they lead England 11-9 after 14.
Well, what a shot, Ellen Ryan. She tried with her first, just missed under, added a bit more weight, fraction more grass, played a beautiful timing shot. She's around the front red, under the blue, and played it to perfection to hold now. Would be 3 shots to Australia, maybe 4.
Unbelievable from Ellen Ryan. More jack movement. Seen it happen a lot in this match.
And Lossolini, forehand here. She needs to hurry if she wants to make some impact on this head. Well, she needs to hang around now. Well, she's cut 1 out. Probably still 2 down, though. With 1 to come. So Aaron Wilson, he's dropped 2. He's down now, 18-16.
If he does lose, is it a good loss to have? I know you never want to lose, but if you lose when it's a dead rubber, you're already through. You know, obviously, you want to keep that winning momentum and don't want to have to think about previous results. But
if it was the same day, Val, I don't think it would be a good thing, you know, because if you have to sort of get up for the next after a loss. But for me, considering it's the
last match of the day.
That's right, last match of the day, and obviously as he moves forward, it's going to be a fresh start for him. He's got well, you know, I don't mean to be rude when I say this, but he's got bigger things to worry about, and that's getting the job done come finals. But in full respect to his opposition, he obviously wants to try and play well and get a win here as Alan Ryan draws another, maybe, I'm not sure, but Aaron, it's no disrespect to his opponent, but yeah, Aaron wants to get the job done here, and he'd love to be able to look back, and if he's successful in this event, be able to say, you know what, I didn't drop a game.
Exactly. It's very hard to get through without dropping a match at the World Bowls Championships. Australia currently, though, they're up by 13. The match looks as though it's well and truly over. With 3 ends to play after this one, they're holding a few.
And not only is this a test for Aaron in terms of, you know, he wants to win this game, but what it is a test for everyone out there, Val, because right now, as we see Lossolini just trying to clear the front, it's a test for everyone, just fatigue-wise.
Yeah.
Like you see the shadow coming right across the green, so, you know, it's getting late in the day. And for these athletes, they've been at the venue since at least 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they're going to be getting off the green around about probably 4:45. By the time they actually get back to their rooms, sit down and rest and then eat, they're buggered, absolutely buggered, and they're on their feet all day. And, you know, there's not many sports you do that. You know, I know athletics and all that they've got to be very fit and be very athletic as they pick up 4
shots for the Aussies.
But short spurts in a day, majority, you know, but these bowlers, they're 2.5 hours at 3 times a day. So they're on their feet for 7+ hours to 8 hours a day, and it takes a lot out of you, and it's how you can keep getting the best out of yourself, keep finding a way to get up.
Exactly right.
And the players that do that and do it well usually get the reward, and that's why they're so focused on preparation and recovery. So Aaron Wilson currently 16-18 down in this match, and he is holding at least 2, maybe 3. So if Aaron Wilson
definitely
can draw,
3 apparently. Mark has got the 3 paddles.
So if he's holding 3, he's drawing for 4 to go 20-18 up.
So Chrissy, Alan's just gone to take a quick comfort break, but the Aussies leading 22-5. They're up by 17. Quarterfinal spot, well, I think it's well and truly sorted now that Malta will get through, barring a quartet of multiples or of maximums from Japan. I reckon Disco might have just scored a 4 there possibly, or still 3. I don't think it fell in. Still 3.
Probably need to fall twice, that one. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that, but I have seen it happen once. Once in my life, a bowl fall twice.
So Christina Christic, she's been on from the get-go.
Yeah, I saw a bowl playing in Victoria many years ago. Very, very windy day. It came down on the draw, and as it came across the head and fell over, the wind picked it up and made it roll one extra roll. Never, ever seen that again in my life, and don't think I will. The wind just grabbed the momentum of the bowl falling over. So this game never ceases to amaze as Christina Christic puts 2 inside a couple of feet again, but once again, Elizabeth not far away. She's been very tenacious as the lead for Fiji, just battling away, putting them in there, trying to go toe-to-toe with Christina Christic, who's been, in your view, and probably my view too, Val, probably the best player on the rink.
So the Australians are pretty much home and host. As long as they don't concede a 5 in this end, they will win. And Fiji just not had the answers. They pushed England this morning and have had a pretty good tournament.
Jack's on the move. Well,
again.
I'm going to watch this game back one day, Val, and I think the Jack might have moved every end.
Almost. It's moved in most of them, and with 3 ends to play, Japan down by 16 against Malta. So Malta look pretty much home and hosed as well. Nathan Barnes thanking us for the coverage. Great to have your company.
Yeah, so green speed as we look around. There's quite a few bowls just sort of falling in short. Green speed probably just losing a bit of finish though. Probably a couple of feet, 2 or 3 feet of finish. And all that means is just that moisture is sitting on the green a bit, a little bit of temperature, dropping of the temperature, and you'll see the bowls just sitting down a fraction on the grass. So players will be aware of that now, especially being match fit in these conditions for quite some time. So Aaron Wilson holding 2 and holding game with 2 bowls to come from his opposition. Alan Ryan, backhand it is. Holding 1. Needs to get down. It's a pretty good home. A yard off, and she's going to count there, but Alan with 1 left. Lossolini from Fiji looking to dislodge this shot bowl out of the head. And it needs to hold on a lot.
Salini Decoya. It's coming underneath, and it won't affect anything, or will it give 1 more down? No. 1 more left in the tank from both. Doesn't look like Fiji will be able to score the 5 required to ensure that this match stays live. Alan Ryan puts in another one behind. So it's been a wonderful ride for these two this tournament. Both have walked home with medals. Ellen a bronze in the singles, Chrissy a silver in the 4s. But it doesn't look like, and with the way Malta have played against Japan, the Australians, the ones that won the Commonwealth Games pairs last year in an epic against Tolchard and Faro, they won't be going home with a gold at Gold Coast 2023. Plenty of upsides though. Superstars of the game. And they know that they can do it on the international stage. Their maiden World Bowls Championship, something different for them. They are so hard to win.
So, Aaron Wilson's game, it's ebbing and flowing. So, all of a sudden, Aaron Wilson was holding game, and his opposition's come down and made a 2.
Wow. So, 2019 in favour of Frank de Vries. So, we're just going to have a little measure here.
Aaron Wilson, of course, having last bowl. What do you think, Val? Let's go there, mate.
Disco. He'll do it again. He'll do it again. Yeah, Disco with his last. Make it 2. Get it done.
This end.
Back him in.
Okay. Well, he picked up a 3 in this direction previously.
Umpire coming out.
And this is, Val, just on that. So, Aaron Wilson's opponent just dropped a 3, nearly in the identical spot where the jack is right now.
Oh, you mentioned this before.
And guess what?
He's rolled it to the exact same spot and he's gone short.
Yeah,
and wide.
So you could nearly put the jack in an identical spot 2 ends ago where he dropped a 3 and Aaron got a 3. And I'll be very surprised if Aaron doesn't replicate what he did 2 ends ago because the jack's in the same spot. So right now he's holding a good 1. It doesn't upset me, but it's just got to have those rink smarts and game smarts. You know, putting the jack in the same spot where you just dropped a number.
So, there's the umpire comes out to check out what we think is the verdict here. Aaron Wilson gets one in.
Aaron Wilson holding game. Bit of room there. Probably a foot for shot. Just over 2 feet for second shot.
So, 1 for the Aussies. And the match is done. We know that. The results confirmed 23 to 5. The Australians lead it by 18 with 2 ends to play. Mathematically impossible. Haven't seen an update of the Malta and Japan score. So realistically, with what we can see, it's still mathematically possible, but I doubt it. Chrissy just resettling. Frank de Vries, I reckon he might be down game here, Baz, as Chrissy puts in her opener again. Getting her weight right. I think Frank de Vries might have just put that in.
Yeah, he's drawn second. Don't think it's shot. So Aaron Wilson, 18 inches of room to draw, shot, and shake hands. He's done the Aaron tease there, the old shoulder shrug, getting the shirt off the back. As we see Aaron Wilson walk. Yep, he's walking up to the mat now, so he's got 1 to come. Game on the line.
Frank de Vries has played a sensational contest. Disco taking his time on the mat, resettling.
Christina Christic down the spine of that rink again all day long. Aaron Wilson, he's looking real good here.
He's got it. How's the celebration too? 2 fingers up in the air, almost a double cobra. And Disco wins it 21 to 20 over Frank de Vries of the Netherlands. He ends his sectional campaign undefeated. What an epic. He's had a couple of those. They're going to measure, though. So he celebrated. Now they're making him measure it. Oh, no.
Can't see how it's not 2. Despite, I think, just his opposition
trying to prolong it as much as he can. So, Elizabeth Mothewai, Disco has won 2019. What a classic. So currently, Fiji holding sway here. Australia, Chrissy and Ellen, they have been mega in this match.
Ellen Ryan, probably, well, it'd be 18 inches to 2 feet of room here.
So we get...
No, just going to pull up. Great line.
So Fiji love to try and get themselves to double figures if they can. They need 5 from this end and the next combined. See if they can get there. The Australians, they've been well and truly on top. Nice little home of bowls at the back.
Yeah, so Aaron Wilson picking up a good little 2 there to get the job done. So it's been a great day for him. As Ellen Ryan's looking to get blue onto red, kick the bowl out. Not quite.
That red bowl remains.
And just on that, Val, you know, just from obviously just me, from an observer point of view, and I think that's just the difference between closing out a match and being in a match. You know, putting that jack into a spot where Aaron Wilson picked up a really good 3 2 ends before that. And like I said, there's trying to win a game and there's closing out a game, and you've got to have a clear, concise plan. And unfortunately, from the tall man, you'd say, isn't he a very tall man? What,
very.
6'5", 6'4"?
He'd be up there. Jason Borg as well, quite tall.
Just couldn't get it done against Aaron Wilson, but Aaron's, you could see there he was pretty keen to get off the green. He hung tough, got the job done, and he's got great history on these greens at Broadbeach.
He does.
Both bowls, they're gone. See you later.
Ellen Ryan, well, that is huge.
What a shot, Ellen
The
Ryan.
fans love it.
Yeah, big weight.
So that's, 5 to Australia.
Yeah, they lined up perfect, Val.
One more to come for Losalini Decoya to try and send things or get Fiji back on the board. They've only won the 5 ends in this match. Australia have been supreme. They've been right on it early. Front end pressure, magnificent. And the back end prowess of Ellen Ryan has been mighty. Switzerland giving England a run for their money in this section, leading 12-11. England unbeaten so far. Penultimate end here, the final bowl of it. Losalini Decoya to try and save a 5. The shadows have almost engulfed this entire green here, green 2. Will this one get back? The Fijians asking it to, but no. And that is 5. A handful for the Aussies. And now all of a sudden, could 30 be on the cards? $28-5 the score. Fantastic bowl from Ellen Ryan. Spaz, I've seen some photos of what Melbourne's looking like at the moment. MCG, you'd be getting pretty excited for tonight.
Yeah, almost there. Almost time for a big match as we finish up here.
So, one more end to come. 12 bowls. Malta, well, they've done enough. They are through. Australia are out. And the run of Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan They will finish their maiden World Bowls Championships with a silver medal for Chrissy in the fours, and for Ellen, a bronze in the singles. But their pairs campaign that they won at the Com Games last year, they will not be doing the double.
And their next big pairs event they'll be vying for will be the next World Bowls, now happening every 2 years. So good luck to Alan and Chrissy if they... Well, first of all, I'm sure they'll be hunting that selection, plus hunting down the chance to go again. And I'm sure everyone in Australia right behind them.
But full credit to the Maltese duo of Rebecca and Connie Rickson, because they have been awesome. They've not slipped up. The pressure was on them, and full credit to them. And Serena Bonnell commenting what a superstar she is. The Aussies have done very well to maintain their focus and composure when their tournament was reliant on the result of a rink that is visible to them. Well done, Aussies. And that's exactly right. They've maintained their composure. Baz, you said it might be difficult, but Chrissy and Alan, they would be able to look over and see what the score is, but they haven't done so. They have kept the foot on the throat of the Fijians, and they are 23 ahead.
And of course, Val,
final end.
The overall trophies, Aussies will be still in the hunt in the ladies' triples, trying to get a medal of some sort there, or ideally a gold, to really try and push the envelope when it comes to the overall women's trophy.
Yeah, for sure. So, Alan and Chrissy, not the tournament that they would have wanted. Best friends, have already won so much together, but they have had a pretty good tournament. Only the two losses for them, England in an epic yesterday and Malta, were just too good, and that's all you can say. The Rickson sisters, sensational at Paradise Point on Tuesday. Fiji, their tournament will be done as well. Emerging from this group will be England and Malta. Switzerland, 2 up with 1 to come against the English. So Kunzler and Butler might be able to take down Tolchard and Farrow. Alan Ryan looking for this one to get down. Won't do so. Lossalini Decoya with the third last bowl of her World Bowls Championships campaign for 2023. Still good to see the Australian contingent watching on. What has Lossalini got? She'll get a little slide, and that'll do. Does work, Barry.
Yeah. Alan Ryan, well, she might just let a couple of runners go here just to release a little bit of steam. Just try and get a few runners away just to finish the day up. Look for the jack.
Got it.
Right on
Flush.
top of it. Right on top of it.
And I reckon she's sitting on top of it in the ditch. Well, you called it perfectly, Barry Lester.
Yeah, she got a nice bounce off the back one, but still she was going to probably sit at least a foot away from it anyway, and got the nice little kick out and finished, well, from what we can see from here, Val, probably only a few inches from the jack. So Lossalini got a work cut out here, trying to draw to the edge and get the right line out on that swoopy hand. She's played it very well.
Lossalini Decoya, that is a great effort.
One down, so one to the Aussies.
It's going to be very hard to top that. I think it's lying right next to the jack in the ditch. We saw it ricochet off Australia's back bowl, which has gone out of bounds or into the ditch and out on the bank, and it's sitting very, very close to the jack in the ditch.
So the call was Alan Ryan. Forehand, try and sit that last bowl of Lossalini's and stay.
It's coming. It's trying. Sit in the sand. So that's Alan Ryan's last bowl of the tournament. Selene Decoya. Can she finish something with something special here for Fiji? She can't. And Australia will take the one. They will win their final match of the competition, 29-5 over Fiji, who toiled hard. But Australia absolutely fantastic and rampant in their final match. Their tournament is over, Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan, but they finish on a high, an undefeated day. 3 big wins, 1 scare over Hong Kong, but Barry Lester, they should be pretty proud of their efforts because it's their maiden World Championships and they both go home with medals. Chrissy a silver and Ellen in a bronze.
Yeah, still so very young, but very experienced. You know, so much to learn from this event. Just a reminder, only the top 2 go through from these large fields. So very cutthroat. All the players and all the teams doing very well to put their hand up to make that last 2. But unfortunately, only the 2 can go through. So well done to both teams in this particular match. Well done to Australia. And well done to the 2 that do go through. And we wish you all the best in the finals.
England and Malta go through from this section. Australia eliminated, the only Australian group to go out in the sectional phase. So pretty good week or fortnight from the Right at Home Jackaroos. But we'll be back tomorrow from Club Helensvale. There'll be women's triples and men's fours action. The knockout stages will commence for week 2 at the World Bowls Championships. Looking forward to it. Barry Lester, thank you very much.
Great job. Thanks, Val.
Looking forward to tomorrow. A big morning, 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And we'll catch you then on Ringside Live.